Now, here I have a mixed number. What does the mixed fraction 2 and 1/3 mean? Have you ever thought of it? 2 and 1/3. What does this mean? This means that we have 2 whole and 1/3 of another whole. So 2 and 1/3 is equal to 2 whole and 1/3 of a whole. Now we could look at this from a graphical perspective so that we have a graphical image of a mixed number in our mind. So here I'm going to use 3 square box, right? Notice that these boxes are all the same sizes. So if 2 and 1/3 means 2 whole and 1/3 of another whole, you can see that one of these square box, let's say that they are cake. So one of these cake represent one whole, and the second one would represent one whole as well, and the third one would represent one whole as well. So we have 3 wholes here. So if I represent this graphically, this would be one whole, right? This would be another whole that would take care of the 2 there. So this would take care of the two wholes. And then now we have a third of another whole. So therefore, the last whole here has to be divided into 3 equal parts. So let's say that's one part and that's another part. So we have 3 equal parts and one part should be shaded. I can shade the top one, the middle one, or this lower one. Doesn't matter which one I shade. Let me shade the middle one. All right. Once I represent 1/3 using a diagram. So you can see now graphically, I have one whole plus another whole plus 1/3 of a whole, right? So that will gives me 2 and 1/3. That's what it really means. So I could put some plus here to show you, right? Now, let's look at it a little bit deeper. Now, one whole, right? We could divide each whole into 3 parts too, you know. So we could divide this one whole here. Let's divide it into 3 parts as well. So we know that this is 1 part, this is 2, and the last part would be 3. Assume that I divide it in 3 equal parts, because you know I'm drawing freehand. Some of the space might look a little bit bigger. But we are dividing it into 3 equal parts, right? So each slice is the same. Now, one whole is the same as what? 3 out of 3, because if we want to shade this, in this one, what we'll have is 3 parts shaded out of a total of 3. So let's look at that graphically. So we can create a mental image of what one whole is in our brain, right? So you see, I shaded 3 parts, which will give me the numerator, out of a total of 3, which would be the denominator. So here, 1, 2, 3, that's going to be the denominator. And how many parts I need to shade? I need to shade 1, 2, 3 parts, right? So that's where the numerator come from. And remember, we say we add in them, don't it? So we could put plus here, and we could put plus here. And for the last one now, we're shading 1 part out of it. So if I choose to shade the first slice here, it's still going to be 1/3 because I shaded 1 part out of a total of 3, right? So you can see that 2 and 1/3 mean I have 2 whole and 1/3 of another, because 3 divided by 3, that's just 1, and 3 divided by 3, that's just 1, right? So when I put them together, 1 plus 1 will give me 2, and plus a third. So what I'm seeing in final sum, in summary here, you could see that 2 and 1/3 is therefore equal to 2 plus 1/3 of a whole. That's what it really boils down to, right? And understanding what mixed numbers are will help you with multiplication of mixed numbers, addition of mixed numbers, subtraction of mixed numbers, because you could have this conceptual understanding of mixed numbers, right? Before I close off this video, let us look at another one. But this time we're not going to look at it graphically. So let's say that I have 3 and 1 over 5. What does this really mean? The 3 here means that I have 3 wholes. So it means that I have 3 wholes plus 1/5 of a whole, plus 1/5 of a whole. That's what it means, right? So that's what it means. So it means that I have 3 wholes and 1/5 of a whole. Let's look at another one. Let's say that I have 10 and 2 over 3. What does this really mean? It means that I have 10 whole plus 2/3 of another whole, right? So that's what this mixed number means. And it is very, and you know that you can represent this graphically. So I will challenge you, since I show you how to represent it graphically, to have a mental picture in your mind. Then you can now represent these fractions that I'm doing here graphically. Now, let's look at one last one. Let's say that we have 6 and 3 out of 5, right? What is this really saying? This is saying that we have 6 whole plus 3/5 of another whole, right? So that's what this means.